Do you hunt or carry firearms and feel frustrated by the maze of ever-changing laws every time you cross a state line? Instead of worrying about whether you're breaking the law when you travel, imagine a system where firearm regulations are consistent no matter where you go in the United States. This matters because firearms are a part of everyday life for many Americans. Ammo.com, a strong believer in the Second Amendment, says over half of households in 2024 own at least one firearm. For families, they represent protection, tradition, and even a way to provide food. Yet, traveling between states often means navigating a confusing, disjointed framework of policies just to remain compliant. Growing up hunting deer and rabbits, my family faced these challenges firsthand when planning trips across the state borders. Today, we'll explore three key areas: the difference in firearm laws across states and the challenges they create, the potential for a unified national standard, and the benefits such a system could bring, as well as the consequences if nothing changes. To start off, across the United States, firearm laws vary drastically from one state to another. In some states, regulations are minimal, while others, the rulebook seems endless. This inconsistency creates uncertainty and frustration for responsible gun owners. Hunters and firearm carriers must spend valuable time researching laws, applying for new permits, or even changing the way they carry their firearm, simply to remain compliant when crossing state lines. What should be a straightforward right or tradition becomes a complicated maze of paperwork and uncertainty. According to Everytown Research, an organization advocating for gun safety, the differences are striking when comparing states like California and Idaho. California enforces 46 out of the 50 firearm laws and regulations, while Idaho only has 3 in place. This drastic contrast highlights just how inconsistent and bothersome some of the systems have become, leaving law-abiding citizens caught in between two extremes. Now on to the solution. This solution to those challenges is simple. The United States needs a unified nationwide standard for firearm laws by establishing consistent regulations across all 50 states. We can eliminate the chaos and frustration caused by the current patchwork of the rules. Citizens who are legally allowed to carry firearms or hunt will no longer encounter unnecessary obstacles when crossing state lines. Instead of worrying about different permits, varying storage requirements, or conflicting restrictions, they will be able to travel with confidence, knowing their rights and responsibilities remain the same wherever they go. One major law that demands attention is the age requirement for purchasing firearms and for permitless or concealed carry. According to the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, these requirements vary significantly across states when some allow individuals as young as 18, while others set the minimum age at 21. This inconsistency not only creates confusion, but also raises serious questions about fairness and safety. If an 18-year-old is considered mature enough to vote, serve in the military, and enforce other constitutional rights, should they not be held to the same standard when it comes to firearm ownership? The lack of formality undermines both responsible gun ownership and public trust in law. Another crucial issue that demands our attention is the lack of consistent background checks when purchasing firearms. According to thegunzone.com, a resource for new firearm owners, 16 out of 50 states still have loopholes that allow individuals to buy long guns or sidearms without undergoing any background check. These loopholes exist largely because private gun shows and auctions permit buyers to bypass the safeguards required when purchasing from licensed dealers. This means that someone who might be prohibited from owning a firearm due to a criminal history, mental health concerns, can still obtain one by simply walking into a gun show. This is not a technicality. It is a dangerous gap in our system. A firearm purchased at a gun show should be subjected to the same security as one bought in a store. Anything less undermines the public safety and weakens the purpose for background checks. With this solution in place, this kind of consistency allows responsible firearm owners to travel safely across state lines, whether it is to protect themselves or to provide for their families. At the heart of this issue is something more deeply personal. In the United States, every individual should have the right to safeguard and care for the people they love. That right should not vanish simply because someone crosses the border. Of course, who are prohibited under those very laws we established must be held accountable, but law-abiding citizens, a unified system ensures their ability to protect and provide for their families. After all, protecting families is a fundamental human responsibility. Now, you may be wondering, what happens if nothing changes? If states remain divided by their own gun laws? The answer is simple. For millions of law-abiding firearm owners will continue to face unnecessary stress and hardships instead of focusing on protecting their families or enjoying their sport. They'll waste hours researching different state regulations, worrying about whether they can legally carry their firearm, or feel anxious every time they cross the border. For hunters, the impact is even more personal. When laws differ from state to state, they find complicated workarounds just to provide for their families. And most heartbreaking of all, this perplexity leaves precious time that can be spent teaching their children valuable skills that last a lifetime. If we're taking in conclusion today, I have talked about the problems created by our divided state gun laws, the solution for establishing one united national standard, and the outcomes this would bring: greater safety, fairness, and peace of mind for responsible firearm owners. But if nothing changes, the confusion, wasted time, and hardships will continue. So here's my challenge: to visit Congress.gov state legislator websites and find the contact information for your state legislator. Take the first step making universal gun laws a reality. Together we can push a federal law that ensures the same rules apply no matter where we are in America. Gun laws may differ from state to state, but your determination can create change. Your determination should not change. Thank you.